Good evening, everyone, and welcome to your regular town council meeting, Tuesday, February 18th. If you'd all rise and join me in a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ms. Reed, if you'd call the roll.
Councilor Blow?
Here.
Councilor Kelly?
Here.
Councilor Stigman?
Here.
Vice Chair O'Neill?
Here.
Chair Thorson?
Here. And two acknowledgements, Council.
I do have one. Tomorrow evening here at the chamber at 5 o'clock, the Community Friendly Connection will be meeting. We would love to have new people come. We have fun every time we get together, so please meet us here tomorrow night at 5 o'clock in the council chambers. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further acknowledgements? Seeing none, to good and welfare. Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak under good and welfare this evening? Seeing none, to the acceptance of minutes. The acceptance of the town council minutes of January 21st, 2020.
Motion to second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll carry 5-0. And to a public hearing this evening, a community development block grant. Shall the town submit an application to the Maine State Community Development Block Grant Program for a community enterprise grant to refurbish the basketball courts and park space located on Atlantic Avenue and Central Park Avenue? And I will turn it over to the town manager.
Thank you very much. So the town has been working cooperatively with our Community Friendly Connection Committee on refurbishment of the basketball court in the Atlantic Ave and Central Park Ave location. And it's been part of the overall attempt to really do improvements in the Washington Avenue neighborhood area and bring attention to bringing that neighborhood back to its glory days of a few years ago. And so part of that initiative, the CFC has been doing a great job of looking for opportunities to find funding, and so they brought to my attention the chance of getting some community development block grant funds that the town could be eligible for, which seemed really well suited for this type of project. So I'm going to ask Holly Corda, who's been taking the lead and putting together that application for CFC, to come to the mic and make a presentation to you about what this would be.
Sure. And just for the record, I'll officially open the public hearing at 6:33.
Yeah. All right. Good evening. My name is Holly Corda, development volunteer with the Old Orchard Beach Age-Friendly Community for All Ages, the Community Friendly Connection, to introduce the grant opportunity, the Community Enterprise Grant from the State of Maine's Community Development Block Grant, relating to our work to refurbish the basketball court and park space on Atlantic Avenue, a block and a half from Washington Square area where neighborhood property improvements are underway, as Larry was just saying. This grant opportunity allows the town to apply for up to $100,000 for neighborhoods, streetscapes and parks for improvements with a 25% cash match. We do have the match from grants awarded to Community Friendly Connection by AARP, which gave us $10,000, the Maine Red Claws basketball team, which awarded us $5,000, the Salvation Army, which provided $3,000, and neighborhood fundraisers that generated $1,400 and $940 each. An additional fundraiser is being planned. Old Orchard Beach meets the eligibility requirements due to the fact that 56% of the year-round residents are considered below the 80% of the county median income for their household size. In order for the Community Development Block Grant to be utilized, we need at least 51% to be income eligible. The state has $600,000 to distribute. This project has its roots in community, like Community Friendly Connection. The CFC, as you know, seeks to improve the quality of life and connection for Old Orchard Beach residents of all ages. It is led by Chair Louise Reed, who is our Assistant Town Manager, with co-facilitators Pat Brown and Helene Whitaker. I help with development, including grant writing, and more than 20 local organizations and more than 30 individual volunteers help to support our activities. The Atlantic Courts Park refurbishing came about as an idea from resident Don Hill, who recalls the days when the basketball court was active with players, and who was the first volunteer to step up. Community Friendly Connection has held several neighborhood meetings and celebrations over the past year to gain neighborhood input for the project. Many volunteers, including Boy Scouts, the Rotary, and others, are available to help. We have been working closely with Larry Mead, the town manager, Joe Cooper of Public Works, the police department, and many volunteers throughout the community. It's a great effort. Okay, so what's involved? Breaking it down, there's basically 4 phases. The first phase is the cleanup of the courts area and the courts and the surrounding area by Community Friendly Connection volunteers. Phase 2 is refining the plans that have been made so far, which include resurfacing the courts, installing lighting and cameras, landscaping, installing fencing, picnic tables, and adult exercise equipment. And that was at the specific request of area residents. Phase 3 is resurfacing and equipping the area with the items above. Phase 4 is the hope for new life and new hope in this neighborhood as part of the larger revitalization. The grant opportunity is very competitive. We submitted a letter of intent to apply, and we were recently invited to apply by the state of Maine, by their Office of Community Development. And I am here to entertain your questions and support to move forward with the application. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any comments or questions from the council?
Through the chair, if I may? Sure. Just first, I'll thank the town manager for his soft and yet kind words about bringing it back to the status it was just a few years ago, as I played on that court just a few years ago as well. So, with that being said, I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, but I'd also like to thank all the efforts on behalf of you folks and that neighborhood as well to make this happen. So, thank you for your efforts in bringing this forward. Okay?
Thank you. It truly has been a community effort. It's been a real joy to see everyone come together and really want to refurbish this area.
Very glad to see it. Any further comments from the council?
Yeah, through the chair.
Sure.
Pat, you and I have had this conversation many times over that tar court. We called it the tar court. I, like Sean, grew up there. I mean, I lived 2 streets away my whole growing up days, and there wasn't a day you couldn't get on the court. It would be 15 to 20 guys there playing basketball. I would love to see it get back to that again. I think the area deserves it, and the kids deserve it, and I'd like to see it get refurbished and redone. So, hats off to you people for doing that.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments from the council? Any further comments from the public? Seeing none, we'll close that public hearing at 6:39.
So I just would say that there's an item coming up on the agenda that would authorize me to, as acting as town manager, to both apply for and accept the grant if it should be awarded to us.
Thank you. And that, yes, that is our first agenda item. Before we get there, public hearing for business licenses and approval. Liz and Mike Marks, 311-22-6, 11 12th Street, 1 year-round rental. We'll open that public hearing at 6:39. Any comments from the public? Comments or questions from the council?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll carry 5-0. We'll close the public hearing at 6:40. 6:40. To a public hearing, amusement permits and approval. The New England Restaurant Group Incorporated, doing business as Pirates Patio and Gallery, 304-2-9, 2 Walnut Street, amplified music, karaoke, noon to 8 p.m., inside and outside. And James Albert, doing business as Dimitri's Incorporated, doing business as Jimmy the Greeks, 211-1-1, 215 Saco Avenue, bands, comedy, and DJ, noon to midnight, inside and outside. There is a change of hours from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. We'll open that public hearing at 6:40. Are there any comments from the public? Any comments or questions from the council?
Through the chair, if I may.
You may.
Go ahead, Sean, I think we're gonna ask the same question.
Possibly. Just in regards to the second license, I want to make sure that the concerns, I know you mentioned in your manager's report, Mr. Mead, that they are being addressed and it's comfortable for us to move forward with that license at this time.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with you moving forward on the special amusement permit license.
So moved. Oh, I have another question.
Second for discussion.
Yeah.
Very good.
So there's a change to, it appears to be 1 a.m. What was it before?
I think it's changing. It was, previously it was 5 p.m. to 1 a.m., and they're changing it to be from noon to midnight. So the ones in parentheses were what the existing
Okay.
license had, and noon to midnight is what this license would grant.
Any further discussion?
Well, I'm still, we're talking about Jimmy's now, right?
Yes.
It says here 5 to 1 a.m.
Yeah, that's the existing hours.
Okay, where do you see what you're telling me?
When it, if you look at the line above that, it says noon to midnight inside and outside. So they're requesting that they start earlier than they have
Okay,
before,
okay.
noon instead of 5 p.m., but they also end earlier than they have before.
Thank you for your clarification.
You're welcome.
All set.
Very good. Any further discussion? Just for clarity, Ms. Reed, if you call the vote.
Council Lowe?
Yes.
Council Kelly?
Yes.
Council Kissing?
Yes.
Vice Chair O'Neill?
Yes.
Chair Flores?
Yes, we'll carry 5-0, and we'll close that public hearing at 6:43. Into the town manager's report.
Thank you very much, Chair. So last night, I attended an informational meeting regarding the proposal that's coming forward to construct 55 apartment units on the property that was behind the former Old Orchard Beach Funeral Home on Portland Avenue. The meeting was organized proactively by the developer to try to provide information to neighborhood residents, so they had gone out and essentially dropped flyers or leaflets indoors and mailboxes in that immediate neighborhood. And there was quite a fairly good turnout, I'd say more than 15, under 20 people from the neighborhood who came. Councilor Signet was there as well. And just for the public's information, this would be for these apartment units would be 600 square feet, one-bedroom apartments, and they'd be restricted to residents aged 55 or older. And the project would include 43 affordable units, which the estimate is that the rent would be $1,000 a month for those units, including heat and electricity. And that there would also be 12 market rate units, estimated about $1,500 per unit. Those units would all be the same, whether they were market rate or affordable, they're the same type of unit. But to get the affordable units, residents would have to meet income criteria. For example, $39,000 is the current threshold, the maximum income for a single person occupying the unit. In order to be able to offer those 43 affordable units, the developer would be seeking a 75% reduction in property taxes from the town. The first 15, it's over a 30-year period, the first 15 years at the full 75% reduction, and then the following 15 years, a 4% increase each year in the taxes that they would pay until it gets to the 30-year mark. Earlier this month, the developer made a conceptual presentation to the planning board, but they have not yet submitted a formal application for review by the planning board. For people who are interested in the project and want to come and give their opinion, if it goes to the planning board, there would be a public hearing, and residents and property owners and interested parties would be able to come to that hearing, ask questions, give input, and should the developer then come in front of the town council to seek a 75% property tax reduction, there would be a public hearing here that residents could come and give input prior to the council making a decision. So I expect that this project will probably move forward. They'll be making a final decision at the beginning of March as to whether it's a go or no-go. So my guess would be, if that happens, that sometime between now and May period would go to the planning board and come to council for your consideration. And I will be, I'm consulting with the town's legal counsel about the request for tax reduction, and be providing that information to you when the time comes. Today, the Public Works Director, Joe Cooper, and I met with Maine Department of Transportation officials regarding the second phase of the preservation paving project on Route 5 that's going to take place between halfway intersection and the town line where I-195 comes into town. We expect the work would begin right at the beginning of April, maybe the end of March, depending on weather. And it is supposed to be finished by the end of June. The project will include changes to the traffic islands at the intersection at halfway, and those changes are designed to significantly improve pedestrian experiences and safety, and also to slow the speed of traffic at that intersection. As part of this project, the MDOT is going to be, at the town's request, hanging directional signage on the inbound lanes after you get off of 195 and right around the Smith Wheel Road intersection in that area. They would be putting large signs that would hang over each travel lane so that drivers would be given information about staying in the left lane if you're going downtown here in Old Orchard Beach, and staying in the right lane if you're going Temple Avenue to Ocean Park. So that hopefully will give people a little better information as they approach that intersection. The next step, and I just want to say that these changes that are being introduced as part of this preservation paving project are what I would consider to be intermediate improvements for this busy intersection and busy road. And in talking with MDOT, the next steps going forward would be for the town to work with MDOT and with the PACS organization to try to obtain, to acquire a planning project to do a feasibility look at constructing a roundabout in this location, as was proposed about 10 years ago now here in the town. So I expect that work to be moving forward within this next year in terms of seeking some assistance in doing that kind of planning work. If that roundabout were to be considered, it wouldn't be something that would be completed for probably in 5 years at the earliest, and perhaps a couple years after that. But I know there's a lot of interest, and I've gotten a lot of inquiries about it, so just wanted people to know that. Bids are going to be issued next week for the proposed infrastructure improvements in the Washington Square area on Fern Avenue and West Old Orchard Avenue. If those bids come in within our available funding, then I would be coming back to council the first meeting in April, or perhaps the second meeting in April, to get an award of contract for that work. So knock on wood, we'll see how that works. I'm in the middle of this time of year, much of my time is devoted to budget preparation with working with our department staff, department heads, reviewing budget requests, and in 1 month's time, on the 17th of March, I'll be presenting the FY21 budget to you here at your council meeting. So we haven't had a lot of snow this year, but we're working with OOB 365 to try to help them put together a sledding hill here on Old Orchard Street so that this weekend they can have their carnival activity on Saturday. So Public Works Department started bringing in snow from various locations today, and we'll be continuing for the next couple of days to shape a sledding hill here in front of Town Hall. It's starting in Town Hall. And the activities will begin Friday at 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., and then again on Saturday at 9 with sledding during the day and music and marshmallow toasting and food and hot chocolate and all that kind of fun. So look forward to that. And then the last thing I wanted to mention was just, again, we held a job fair yesterday here at Town Hall and got some good applicants for our positions. We're going to be holding another one on Wednesday, March 4th from 3 to 7 p.m., again here in Town Council Chambers. This is looking for applicants for our seasonal positions for the most part. We're looking for seasonal employees for our lifeguards, our Public Works Department openings, the police summer reserves, the Recreation Department, and our ballpark and wastewater. But we also will do applications for full-time employment as well, so people who are interested in that. We have immediate interviews if you come on that day and you're ready, and we invite people to bring their resume. It's that easy to line up a job for the coming summer. So thanks.
Very good, thank you.
Yep.
To new business, agenda item 7175, discussion with action to authorize the town manager to apply for and accept if awarded up to a $100,000 Maine State CDBG Community Enterprise Grant to refurbish the basketball courts and park space located on Atlantic Avenue and Central Park Avenue.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, will carry 5-0. To item 7176, discussion with action to approve the special event permit application for the town of Old Orchard Beach to hold the annual Memorial Day Parade on Monday, May 25th, 2020, from 8 a.m., set up in Memorial Park, to 4 p.m., takedown. Line up on E. Emerson Cummings Boulevard at noon, parade to begin at 1 p.m., ceremony in Memorial Park. Allow horses in the parade to walk on the beach with bags from Ocean Park to Union Avenue to the starting point of the parade and back to Ocean Park following the parade.
So moved.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, carry 5-0. To item 7177, discussion with action to approve the special event permit application for the Eastern Trail Alliance to hold the Maine Lighthouse Bike Ride Saturday, September 12th, 2020, from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Rest stop in Memorial Park and Heath Street. Insurance listing the town of Old Orchard Beach as additionally insured to be provided to the town clerk's office at least 1 month prior to the event.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, carry 5-0. Item 7178, discussion with action to approve the replacement of the windows and the storefront glass by Beach Glass for the fire department in the amount of $18,546 from account number 52002-50813, facility improvements, with a balance of $45,670.08.
So moved. Second.
Through the chair.
Sir.
Could I ask Deputy Chief Rob Slaving to come up to the microphone and give you a little information about what they're proposing to do here?
Absolutely.
Through the chair.
Good evening.
In our efforts to continually improve the firehouse, what we've done here is got a bid to replace the E. Emerson Cummings Boulevard entryway, which was originally planned to be an office. They're going to replace the glass there with a storefront full light, 1-inch low E insulated glass door. It's going to be replicated on the fire department side that enters off the ramp. And then we're going to replace 4 windows. So we should be wrapping up the windows and glass work on the balance of the station with this project. With your support, thank you.
Any comments or questions from the council? With the motion seconded, Will carry 5-0. To agenda item 7179, discussion with action to approve conditionally the liquor license renewal for Dimitri's Incorporated, doing business as Jimmy the Greeks, subject to written verification by the fire department that all violations identified by the State Fire Marshal's Office in a notice of violations dated October 4th, 2018 have been corrected, and that all violations identified by the Old Orchard Beach Fire Department inspection of February 13, 2020 have been corrected.
So move.
Second.
For discussion?
Through the chair, if I may,
You may.
just a clarification on the reason for the conditional license, if all concerns for the fire inspection's been cleared up.
Yes, and well, we've been in discussions with the State Fire Marshal's Office, and they have not signed off on the issuance of the license on the state's part. But in talking to them and talking with our fire department officials, they were agreeable to the council issuing a conditional license, and the reason for that is because the business's liquor license expires February 27th, and your next council meeting isn't until the beginning of March. So if the business is able to meet the requirements and get the violations corrected between now and the end of February, by giving them a conditional license, they would be able to continue to keep going forward and be in operation. So it was an attempt to give some consideration to the business. I know they're trying hard to get these things taken care of, and hopefully they will, and if they do, they'll be able to continue to operate, and the state is on board with that as well.
Just to confirm, with that being said, that will come back to us for regular license once the conditional license is cleared up?
No, this would actually then transition to the regular license. It's conditional to this work being completed, and once that is completed, it would be in effect for the year.
I understand that. I'm not comfortable with that, but I understand that. I'll just,
You want it to come
If-
back?
I'd like to see it come back. That's all, but I understand the process.
If the council, and Vice Chair, if the council wants to have this come back once this is cleared up, I have no objection to it coming back to you so that you're aware of it.
I guess, Council, just so I can express my concern with that, these violations were dated October of 2018. It's 18 months ago. I can't imagine anything being that extreme that it couldn't be fixed a little quicker than this, so I want to make sure this is cleared up. That's all. That's my thought.
My personal opinion, I understand what you're saying, and I agree. I want to see this cleared up, but I don't see, I mean, if it's not cleared up, then they won't be selling liquor, so.
Well, with that being said, there's no end date on this, so a conditional license is open-ended.
It's a one-year.
No, it's one year.
It's a one-year license.
So, I mean, if they don't meet it by the 27th, the license isn't issued and they can't operate.
Until they meet it, and that's correct.
Yeah.
And then it would be issued at that point in time, but it would expire in next February, is when it would expire.
I'm also just calling for a question.
Sure. Any further comments? Ms. Reed, if you call for the vote.
Counselor Lowe,
Yes.
Counselor Cullen,
Yes.
Counselor Susignan,
Yes.
Vice Chair O'Neill,
No.
and Chair Thornton.
Yes. We'll carry 4-1. To item 7180, discussion with action to approve the liquor license renewal for Anthony I'm sorry if I say this wrong, Judici, doing business as New England Restaurant Group, doing business as Pirates, Patio, and Galley, 304-2-9, number 2 Walnut Street, MSV, and a restaurant.
So moved.
Second.
For discussion? Go ahead.
Can I just ask, Chief, do you know, has this place been inspected also lately in past?
Correct. We did an inspection 2 weeks ago, pre-liquor license inspection.
And everything
We
was
signed
good?
off, correct. What they do have to do is, once their business license becomes available and they set up for their operation this year, we'll go back for another inspection, and they're gonna have to get their entertainment license to the State Fire Marshal's Office.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll carry 5-0. And I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Rob, you said something about getting the entertainment license through the state. Is that something new? Is everybody gonna have to do that?
Any place that has live entertainment
Yeah.
or dancing,
Yeah.
or live entertainment and dancing has to have a license through the state.
Yeah. Okay. Been
And
that way?
and as those businesses and those liquor licenses become up for renewal,
Yeah,
we make sure that we provide them with the application to
Very
do
good.
so.
thank you.
Anything further?
That's it. Motion to adjourn if you haven't had it. You got it?
Second.
Very good. Thank you all. Have a great evening.